Salute to you people and welcome back to Numbers Off the Hook. Today we're going to look at the properties of multiplication. And it turns out that if we take A times B times C, that's equal to A times B times C, okay? And this is exactly the same thing we had, but before we had it with the plus signs. Now we're doing it with a multiplication. So we call this the associative property. Okay? So it turns out that multiplication is also associative, just like addition was. The second property is this: A times B is equal to B times A. Okay? Which is just like we had before. We had A plus B is equal to B plus A. So we can switch the order between A and B. So we call this the commutative. So it looks exactly the same as in addition. So guys, I want you to memorize this, these rules, so you can use them. And how can you think of it? You can think of it this way. Let's say you have a rectangle here with one side is A, the other side is B. Okay? Then we said that the area of the rectangle is A times B. So the area is A times B. Now let's rotate this rectangle 90 degrees. Then it will look like this, right? Then this side will be B and this side will be A. And now the area here will be B times A. So we see here that the area here and the area here should be the same. So A times B is equal to B times A. We just took a rectangle, we calculated the area. If we rotate that rectangle, the area will remain the same. So we have therefore that A times B should be equal to B times A. And that's the commutative property. Okay? So why do we care about this? Let's do an example to see again why these properties are useful. Okay, so let's do an example here. Let's say we want to multiply 4 times 12 times 25. First, we're going to do it the brute force way. So that would be simply just to go for it. So we do 4 times 12, that's 48, right? Times 25, right? Okay, 48 times 25, that's quite difficult. Let's have a look. 48, 25. So we do like this, right? And then we take 5 times 8, that's 40, and here we have 5 times 4, that's 20, plus 4, that's 24. And here we have 2 times 8, that's 16. And then we have 2 times 4, that's 8, plus this one, that's 9. So we have 0, here we have 10, and then we have 1200. So the answer here is 1200. Okay? And this is the brute force way. Now we're going to do the same calculation, but we're going to use the associative and the commutative properties. So we're going to take 4 times 12 times 25. And then we see here that 4 times 25, that's quite easy because it's equal to 100, right? So 25, if you double it, is 50. If you double it again, it becomes 100. So we can switch the order here because we can use the commutative property. So we have 4 times 25 times 12, right guys? Here I switch the order because of the commutative property, right? Now I can decide which multiplication to do first because I can use the associative property. And I decide to do this one first. That's the associative property. And we see this is equal to 100 times 12, which is equal to 1200. And that's the answer. Okay guys, so today we talked about the properties of multiplication. And we saw that multiplication has two properties. Its associative property, you can decide which multiplication to do first, and the commutative property. We can change the order of the numbers that we multiply with each other. Okay? And here we saw also a very simple example of why this is useful. We can change the order of the numbers we multiply, and then we can decide which numbers to multiply first. So these are very useful properties that we use to simplify our calculations. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. More importantly, I hope you learned something today. And at the next video, we're going to talk about the distributive property. See you at the next one.